And the Hangout on Air is live. Good morning, welcome, happy Friday. Welcome to our open session this week, schoolofbookkeeping.com. We have a new completely overhauled look on our website and the audit blog, which is the official blog of schoolofbookkeeping.com. So make sure that you check that out if you haven't already seen it. As always, we'd love to get your feedback and find out if you love it, hate it, or don't care. And aside from that, the topic of the week, the topic du jour, is clearly QuickBooks 2015. They released it to the ProAdvisors this week. I haven't had a minute to look at it yet, but some of you guys have. So you know what? We're going to start with Dennis. Dennis, I think it sounds like you've had the deepest look at of anybody so far. So take it away, Dennis.
Spent about a half hour this morning sort of prepping for this hangout. My initial reaction is that on the Pro and the Enterprise, or the Pro and the Premier, it looks like the changes are mainly cosmetic on the reports, and then they've got this new functionality where you can send portable company files to your accountant directly. I guess they've streamlined the process on that. They've also got this accountant toolbox where if you're on site with your client, you can log in. If you're using 2015, you can log in as the external accountant and have this accounting toolbox, which gives you much of the CPA functionality.
You mean like reclassification? Does that become available?
It looked like.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't really. Have you actually played with it, Tina? Have you?
No, actually, I watched the QB show, and Woody went over all of the new things, and they're all what you just said. The accountant's toolbox really looks kind of cool, but I really don't
that for years.
A whole lot.
This is actually where you're physically on site using the client.
You're physically on site, and you have to log in as the external accountant.
I was looking at Murph's Intuitive Accountant, articles. I was kind of reading those and seeing what was interesting was that some of the things that are going away from Enterprise. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
Like you're out the door. Like I guess on Enterprise they're getting rid of the employee organizer. And I guess they're also getting rid of the Salesforce CRM connection.
Wow.
Wow. The Intuitive Accountant latest edition, Murphy's got a lot of...
talking about, I just haven't read his articles yet.
And then what else was there? I guess we'll all be disappointed in this, but the Intuit Sync Manager is being given the gate, I guess.
Oh, yeah, so sad.
Yeah.
Sarah, you can speak to that.
My IT guy's going to love that.
Yeah, mine always crashes at least once a day, so... or stops or whatever.
So does anybody have it available that you could open up a dummy file and share your screen?
I think if anybody has Enterprise, that'd probably be more useful. I mean, that's where the real changes are.
Yvette does, except you'd have to open a sample file.
Yeah, hold on, let me see, okay?
Yeah, why don't you try that? Because, I mean, to me it looked like they saved the best changes for the Enterprise.
Yeah, it sounds like that's where they're going to be focusing all of their attention going forward is Enterprise.
My interpretation was they've done minimal changes for the Pro and Premier, so it's encouraging people to migrate to the online. Because I didn't really see anything that would be, that I would upgrade for in the Pro and the Premier.
Here's, when you set up a user as an outside accountant, any client can do that. I mean, the system doesn't know whether you're sitting there as an accountant or your mother.
Well, no.
I know that when we open it up, it looks like the tools are there, but not all the tools are there. So it looks like somehow you have to say who you are, so they make sure that
You do.
You actually, it's not just the user.
You have to verify that you're a ProAdvisor. It does ask you to log on.
Yeah, I think you have to put in your ID and all that.
That makes sense. Now, I hope I wish they could do an update and add that to 14. Because I just upgraded everybody. and I'm no plans to upgrade to 15 if I don't have to, unless it's pretty significant. But that's for my convenience, not.
I can't see from what I've seen so far. I don't see anything that would, make me want to upgrade unless I had to do it because of the payroll thing.
Yeah, but that's one feature I've been waiting for.
Okay, I got it up.
Do you remember how to switch screens?
Oh.
Well, it's in a separate screen right now.
I thought so. Who's Gina? Is Gina going to do it, or?
No, you just on the left, click on screen share, the little green icon.
Okay. Entire screen, right?
Yeah, it's not cooperating with me for whatever reason.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah. Wow, it really does look a lot like QBO.
Oh yeah, they've added estimates. They've added time and billing to the or your time and they got hours on the income tracker, the unbilled hours.
Who can change the screen so it stays on Yvette? Where'd she go?
I'm right here. Did I do something wrong?
No.
Well,
It's
just click on Yvette. I mean, I've got her clicked, but that's not going to control what you see. So,
oh, okay.
the
So your
thumbnail
video,
will stay.
Hold
your
on.
But now
video
it's lost
is
Entire screen. Let me see.
I have different.
Can you?
All right, we had QuickBooks a minute ago. Now we're watching the Hangout through your screen.
Okay. So, all right.
You put us in the wormhole.
When it says when I press share screen, it tells me either entire screen, Google Plus Hangouts, or Windows 7 Parallel.
Gotcha. How many monitors do you have?
I only have right now. I'm on one. I'm on my Mac.
entire
So then
screen
just
then.
the entire screen, but minimize everything except QuickBooks.
Okay, let's see if this works.
Unless you want us to read your email, that makes.
Oh, why is my email showing?
No,
I can't be sure.
Okay, we see this now.
All right, we got it now. Nope, we lost it again.
Lost it again. Did you click something?
No, I just let go of the screen. I mean, let's try it again.
You got to just click screen share once and then let it go. Click it again,
Okay.
it turns it back off. There we go. So now we can see QuickBooks. Perfect.
So, what I was talking about is this Insight tab. It looks a lot like QBO. Homepage, there's, cosmetically it looks really nice. What I don't like is when I printed out one of my invoices last night, it has all these gray lines on the invoice that I got to call QuickBooks ProAdvisor line to see how I could take those lines off my actual invoice.
That's weird. It changed your template?
Yeah, I changed my template.
Did
and
you
I
use
don't
a
like
custom template?
Yeah, I created my own template a long time ago. I've been using it for several years. And every time I've changed, upgraded my enterprise solutions, it never has changed till this time around.
So pull up Invoice in the sample file. Let's see if we can see what you're talking about.
Okay, let's see, invoices. Let's create an invoice.
Or I'm sure they have some already in here.
You control I.
Control what?
I.
Okay, invoice.
There he is.
But let's see, let's get a template here. I'll just do one right here. So let's see. Okay. So, well, see these gray lines right here?
Oh,
They come out on the invoice.
it's doing a gray, white thing on the lines.
They're trying to alternate it, presumably to make it easier to read. Have you gone into the template designer to see if you can remove it?
Yeah, I went into custom layout and everything. At least on mine, I have good day. I couldn't get it off. Even if I go, I'll show you. If I go into formatting.
Yeah, go into layout designer. I'm curious.
Okay.
You're going to have to make a custom first.
Yep, make a copy.
Okay, so usually you could go like right in here, okay, and the background. Okay, there is no fill background. It's not checked.
Right, and that's just for a field. This is clearly like a setting, so I'm curious. Let's back out to the the settings area instead of the actual layout designer, and let's see if there's a setting that can be turned on or off. So
okay, so preferences.
And in here, no, under additional customization. So go back into custom design.
Okay.
And then click additional customization, and go to the print tab.
Okay, print.
The print tab there at the top left where you've got header columns, progress columns.
Use invoice printer.
Print page numbers on forms. So nothing there. Go back to, and then let's just glance through each of the tabs and see if we can see anything like this. Because you could see in the preview it's showing up there. Go back to the print tab for a minute. I saw something that caught my eye that looked potentially interesting. And check this second option that says Use Specified Printer Settings.
Still showing.
Okay, so no, nothing there. All right, go back to...
oh, that's new. Did you see the new setting, though, Seth?
What?
Did you see the new setting? Only show total on the last page. Love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's great because that confuses people all the time. They think it's the whole invoice and they think the total is just missing.
Mm-hmm.
That's brilliant. So you know what? Yeah, cancel this, Yvette, and let's go into the preferences. Maybe it's in the print forms preferences. This is how I always play with this stuff. It's actually kind of fun. So I would start with print forms. You got to scroll down.
Print forms.
Or it might be send forms.
No, it's up under file, not preferences.
File. Okay.
Top left.
Print invoice.
No, printer setup. Is that what you're
want to
talking
change
about?
the settings to see if we can get rid of that gray line.
No.
Because that takes you into your straight printer options.
Print forms.
No, go back to the preferences, because that's where you're going to be able to change something like that.
That's what I think.
So go to send forms, because that's often, it's kind of the same thing as printing them as far as settings go. And go to company preferences.
Current default.
And so basically, choose edit. So well, that's just going to be for the email that goes out.
For emails. She needs to go to File, Printer Settings.
But that's the printer settings. That's not QuickBooks settings.
But it reads it. Sometimes there's features in there.
Let's just try it.
All right.
Print forms.
Printer setup.
Printer setup for an invoice.
That's just a print, though.
No, that's select to print. You need to
There was an option that said printer settings in there. Try that. Printer setup.
Setup.
Setup. Okay.
Nope, you're still in print form.
There. Now go invoice.
Okay.
Now, is there anything there?
Blank paper.
Options next to the printer name. But again, I think that's going to access your printer's options, not QuickBooks.
Yeah, but the print on blank paper, I was hoping it would be there.
No.
Nah, it's not going to be on there. It would be on, see the pre-printed forms, blank paper, or letterhead?
Yeah.
But they didn't put it there.
So, I wonder
All right, so let's go back and play with preferences, because if anywhere, it's got to be there, if it exists at all.
Okay.
Logically.
So,
Logically.
we tried send forms. Scroll down, Yvette.
And go send forms again?
No, that's the send forms is the only one where it makes sense. And did we check company preferences in here?
Go up to
You know, the only thing I could think of is, you know, when you go to the customization, each one of those lines has like a border or a background. And even though it wasn't checked, it looked kind of gray to me.
Mm-hmm.
if
You
you
might have
check
to
it,
select a line instead of that whole region,
Yeah.
and then change the settings for that line. Let's try that then. Go back to the.
Or before you
customization.
leave here, can we look at the sales screen and see if there's any new questions on there?
okay, so go back to printer
Preferences. No.
preferences.
Preferences.
Sales.
And then the sales and customers. Okay. And then right there.
Packaging, enable people. Action center, one with laptop print.
What's advanced printing, I wonder? Oh, pricing, sorry. I can't see. Huh.
All right, let's go back to the customization. Let's see if we can select an individual line on a template and change that.
Okay.
How many?
And all the
accounts
Intuit
do you think?
people who are watching are going, you can't do it.
Who?
Woody here.
Designer. I'm
And
just.
Stacy said she was going to be with us every Friday, but I think she's in Texas now. So, but Yvette, right now you've got that whole region selected.
Okay, let me just show you this, because see this? It looks like it's almost gray here.
Well, because it's not selected. You'd have to check
Right,
it, have to change
but
that.
even when it's selected.
But that's going to fill the whole background for that whole region that you can see it selected in the background.
Right.
So you
Pick
don't want to do
white.
that.
This part right here, it's where the description is at.
Yeah. You pick white?
And what's happening is I skip a line between each item that I bill for. So the one that's blank is the gray on my invoice.
You know, that's ugly. That means you have to go in.
So maybe it will just automatically gray out any blank lines. So for sure it doesn't put gray. Like, have you tried putting 2 lines of information in a row to see if it grays out one of them?
Let me just do it on this one right here.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, give us 2 lines. Let's see what happens. But no, immediately below it. Don't skip a line.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, now do print preview.
And here. Let's see now.
Try putting a line, skip a line, and then put a line, and see what happens.
Now skip 2 lines.
Okay.
And then put something in and skip 3 lines.
Are you guys playing with me? Okay. Layout designer. See, you could even still see it here.
Do
It
it
does
for
it for every other line, whether you put something on it or not.
Where are you?
No, she's in the layout. Get out of the layout designer and just do a print preview because it's hard to see it this
Okay.
way on the screen share.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks like it's every other line is what it looks like.
Well, see the blue?
See right here?
Yeah, so
It's still doing it.
I think Gina's right. It's going to just every other line is going to
Every
get
other
grayed out. And
That's
what will
like
happen
old.
is everybody's
Barbie.
going to yell and scream at them until they fix this. And so R2.
When everybody raises hell, right?
You know, why do they do these things without even... They had a whole beta team to test this with.
I assume that they checked with them, and maybe the beta team either didn't object or maybe they even liked it.
Well, you shouldn't assume.
It looks hokey. I don't like it. When I printed out my invoice, I thought it looked so unprofessional.
Yeah,
I
it
can
is.
see where I would like it in some cases, especially if I have a very busy invoice, but I would like to have the option to choose.
Well, people that have one line with big descriptions will be awful.
Right.
I just want to see this real quick.
It reminds me of the old DOS green bar paper. I'm dating myself, huh?
Yep.
Yep.
I don't think there's any way I could change, especially that skipping the lines.
You know, on screen, on the actual invoice screen, there's shading on every other line. So I bet if you wanted to make sure that you only had information on the lines that weren't shaded, you could go according to that schematic.
That would be ugly. And to do that each time.
Yeah.
You have
So
to
you
have,
have to skip a line. You always have to skip a line in between everything.
right.
And I like it on the screen because it might help because, you know, we can't see this new interface anyway.
Yeah, it's not going to do it.
But printing, that's a whole other ballgame.
It won't print the line in gray, I don't believe.
Yes, it did. I printed it. It prints it.
In 15, it prints it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's probably a default.
Yeah. So, there you go with the invoice. I mean.
That surprise people like that.
Other than that, what's
Coming up with these new ideas, but please give us the choice.
why don't we show the reports? Why don't you show the reports? We can add notes, Yvette.
Okay.
Let's go to reports, and Seth was talking about that.
I want to see that.
Okay.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And the reports have the shading too. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Yeah, there you go.
And when you print it, it looks funny to me. Like, check this out. We'll do a preview. It's got this line.
Oh, what
Yeah.
are they doing?
Different.
Why don't they take off
I don't know. I think
ordinary-
they're trying to make it look kind of like QuickBooks Online or something. I don't know.
Get rid of that ordinary income thing that I have to hide all the time.
I think they're trying to make them look more like official financial.
You think so? Maybe.
Professional financials.
Yeah.
But
The last time you saw an audit financial or compilation that looked like that?
Never.
Never.
so, I mean, the reports are. This is very different. I mean, compared to what we had before.
All right, so if you put a note, where does it store it?
Okay, click on comment on. If you click on comment on report.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Click on comment on report.
There's a blue
Okay.
at the top.
It's up in the. It's in blue right now. No, it's
Oh, right here.
yeah. Comment on report. Yeah.
Yeah, this is nice. This is a feature right here. I was playing with this yesterday. If you need to send these reports to somebody, to your client or CPA, and make comments, whatever, you can make the comments here.
Now, it looks like it's about to associate that comment with miscellaneous materials.
Yeah, yeah, it will. And you can go to each specific item right here. Cost
Where
account.
you send the report, you send it as a. If you send a paper copy, where the comment's going to appear, or if you send it as a.
All right, who's that going?
Yes, sir.
Now, I wonder, though, if you make these comments, will these same comments show up every time I run a P&L, or because?
No, you have to save these reports. When you comment on them, you save them.
Memorized.
Memorize. Yeah.
Days with the memory.
Say you do a PDF copy of this, where would the comments going to be at the bottom of the?
Try it out.
Post a comment and save it. Let's try it.
So high.
What is it? Yeah, print preview.
And say save.
Put a couple comments on.
A couple? Okay, let's do
Yeah, comment on labor.
It looks like it automatically numbers them, so I'm assuming it's going to.
So we'll probably print them in the footnotes, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see where it like saves it.
Let's see, payroll expenses.
Like, oh my god.
What were you thinking?
Time to start firing people.
Okay, so there we go. So then I'll do.
Print preview.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top of the form. Yeah.
So how would they get these comments?
Next
Well,
page.
scroll to the last page.
Okay.
Is there a second?
They're noted, they're numbered.
Oh, here it is.
There they are.
Okay.
Interesting.
What do you guys think of that?
I think that's awesome.
That could be handy, but it's not in Pro Premier. See.
Okay, but then where does this go once you close this report? Close it.
Okay, let's close it. I've got to do save.
I think it is in Pro and Premier.
Save your commented report. Oh, is it in Pro and Premier?
I believe it is.
It probably is. Larry's.
And I think you can get to this. This is one of those toolbox things, too.
Yeah, it is in Pro and Premier.
By the way, when we were at the VIP Summit last year, they actually showed us a video of Larry from Larry's Landscaping.
Oh, really? There is really a Larry's?
There really is a Larry.
Well, sometimes his financials really are not good. He really needs to work harder.
Okay, I saved this P&L, so maybe it's in Memorize now.
Or maybe go to reports. Maybe there's like saved reports.
Memorize report.
No, top.
Reports. Memorize reports.
Now go memorize the reports a second time.
The first choice within that.
Stay there. Hang a right.
I know Larry's. It's not on here.
That's interesting.
Saved reports area. If you go back to the reports menu,
Okay.
and it might even be you have to go to the actual reports center.
Oh, it would be, okay.
Go to favorites maybe.
Favorites?
See the tabs
Or
across.
recent? No.
That's weird.
Where did it go?
Go to the reports drop down menu and let's read it.
Yeah, let's actually look and
Okay,
see
stop.
what
Okay.
Commented reports.
Commented reports.
There it is.
There it is. I wonder why they made a separate list.
Maybe
it's probably
so
because
we
of the
don't-
comments thing, so that you could have it in a clear, specific area.
Yeah.
All right,
Now,
now
a bunch of them.
Do you give it a specific?
Because this way I can have a memorized report and then run that and then comment on it and save that in my commented reports.
Does it prompt you for a specific title on the commented reports?
Yeah, it always asks you to title, but it'll default to just, you know, profit and loss, like we saw when Yvette went to save it.
Yeah. So I named it.
So you'll want to name it very specifically so you know this is the profit and loss that we commented on for December of 2019 or something.
Right.
and some comments may be reoccurring and some aren't. I guess you would change the period and then change what you want to change.
Yeah.
But I like the little list. What's next to the comments tab?
The comments
There's a little
tab.
drop down next to the
Yeah.
comments tab. Let's
Looks
look
like,
at
looks,
Window.
looks like you can edit the comments too.
Yeah.
Right here.
The little pencil.
No, where it says comments 3.
Oh, that just expands it.
Comments I made.
Knocks it out of the way. Okay, that makes sense.
To the right of it, where there's some
Yeah,
accent.
little looks like a little pencil.
Yeah.
Can you look at something real quick? Just pull a check up.
Check.
Check.
A check. Okay.
Control W or whatever.
Okay.
Is
All right.
that bank account field any wider?
No, I don't see it being any wider.
How about the invoice? Check an invoice.
Okay.
If the invoice is worse.
I wonder if those lines show on text.
See, it's wider.
Where?
The invoice job
Oh.
field is finally wider, and then they
The
put
class.
the memo way down at the bottom on the left if you want to put a memo in your AR. But then the bill to, look how little it is. Look at all that wasted real estate.
Oh, God, I work hard.
I really thought they were going to wise up on that.
Well, they said that the most improvements are in the enterprise solutions.
Isn't this enterprise?
Yeah.
I'm sure people love these comments we're making.
Yeah. Got all this
you
white
know,
space
send
on
this
the
hangout to
screen.
them. Here's our immediate feedback on 2015.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's up with the invoicing and the wow.
Yeah, I wonder, gosh, I should have, yeah. I mean, when I printed out my invoices last night, I was like, oh my gosh, this doesn't look right.
See, that's one of the reasons.
That's why you don't
Next
migrate.
year you might want to wait.
Yeah, I will. I mean, normally I've never had this issue. I get anxious, but
Oh, I remember the first year they put the IPN links on the invoice without telling you they did that, and I flipped out.
Nightmare or what?
well, you know what? You know what? Last year, come to think of it, last year what happened is, you know, when I put in my time, it goes sorts it every, you know, by date, you know, in date order. Well, I think it was 2014 when I printed out, you know, when I called up my invoice for a particular client, the dates were all jarbled, all different. You know, like the latest date didn't come in the bottom or whatever. It was not organized by date. The dates were all over the place. So if I had something that was like that I did on the 10th of December, it would show up on the top when the first would be on the bottom or in the middle.
So they fixed it?
Yeah, they fixed it. I think a lot of people were complaining, so they did fix it.
What else is fun and new?
Dennis, what else we got?
Why don't you look at the negative inventory?
Oh yeah, run an inventory report.
Not on Larry.
By item.
Yeah.
Does Larry have inventory?
Well, just look
Yeah,
at the
landscape.
look at the preferences. Does he have?
Well, just run an inventory report.
Items and inventory. The client.
If you don't allow negative quantities, see that?
Yeah.
Ah,
I guess you
lovely.
can also prevent selling goods to people that are delinquent.
But here's the problem with that. We were talking about this before we went live. Before people go clicking on don't allow negative quantities, keep in mind what the implications are. From an operational standpoint, the reason I think they never had this before is the same reason most of my clients are never going to check that option off, which is because their sales team needs to get invoices out regardless of whether they're up to date on their purchasing in QuickBooks. So I could see where this is going to piss a lot of people off, quite frankly, if you check it off and then they can't post an invoice and send it out to their client.
Well,
It
for-
doesn't retroactively fix cost of sales, does it?
I
You
doubt
have to manually go in and fix your negatives.
you have to do that anyway. But yeah, this is basically going to prevent you from being able to post an invoice if you don't have sufficient quantity on hand instead of just getting the warning.
Or maybe somebody sold the wrong color or something, yeah. And it's not really negative, but nobody's fixed it yet.
yeah,
And there should be a way to override that, like warning.
The warning, you do get the warning if it's going to go negative. Most people just ignore it and click OK and post it anyway.
yeah, see, yeah, it's
Always
up
got
and
that
down.
warning. But this will, just like when you're trying to build inventory assemblies, since that feature was introduced, it won't let you build if you don't have sufficient quantities on hand of the components. Here, it'll do the same thing on the invoicing when you're trying to post an invoice to sell an item where you don't have sufficient quantity on hand. It won't even warn you. It'll simply prevent you from posting the invoice.
Yeah, I mean, these are. If it's an enterprise, it's a bigger company, so I'm assuming it's going to cause some conflict with the sales team and the. You know,
A lot of people will turn it on thinking, oh yeah, this is a good idea, until the sales team goes in to post an invoice and they can't get an invoice out to a customer and then they can't get paid. Then you're going to get people very upset until you go back and change this.
I
But
can
at
see
least we have the
accountants
option now.
doing it. I can see accountants doing it and then sending it back to the client. The sales team wants to do an invoice, can't. Oh, holy crap, shit's the fan.
Yeah, but it's fixable and it's an option now for all the people who are going, holy crap, there's more negatives.
Right. See, what I do and have done for years is I train my clients to run the stock status by item report and manage it that way. And
Or
then
just sort the thing. Just sort
What?
the screen. Just sort the screen and put the negatives up top.
But in fact, go ahead and click cancel. Let's run the stock status by item report.
Okay.
So reports, inventory,
Okay.
halfway down.
My status.
Yep, stock status by item. So here, so you see how there's a negative quantity on irrigation hose? So double click that -1. And that should give you, now change the date to all dates.
Hit an A.
Yep, just type A
Just type an A. Yeah, there you go.
and refresh and expand. It looks like it's collapsed.
Oh, expand. That's weird.
You see that, because it's not showing all that
Maybe you
active.
gotta do this. No?
Or, all right, then go to the item list and run a quick report on the item. What I'm trying to get at is where you can see a purchasing history to see where and how it went negative. So, because somebody was actually asking about this in Facebook, Stacy actually apparently had a client with a ton of negative inventory, And so I thought actually one of the things we would talk about today anyway would be to show how to research that. So just go straight to the item list.
Okay, to list.
Yeah, in lists and then item list. And here's how you want to troubleshoot this kind of stuff. So let's find that irrigation hose. And actually it looks
Sort
like...
the column.
What?
Sort the column. Where's the quantity column?
Well, yeah, but it's actually not showing -1 here.
Right here's total quantity. Can you see this?
So you've got just right-click any one of the sub-items, like the half-inch line. Just right-click that and run a quick report.
Okay.
Because this is how you troubleshoot this kind of stuff.
It's either negative or is an is. Oh,
then
you're
all
saying it's
dates.
negative on an invoice.
No, the negatives are just showing you that we're subtracting that amount from inventory. But change the date to all, because it shows you going in what you had on hand. It shows you all the transactions and how they're impacting the quantity and what you're left with. So this isn't a case of one that went negative, but this is how you research to see where it did go negative if it did. Now the drawback to this, and
but
what I
it's
was
not negative now, so why did it show up on the other report as negative now?
It was at the parent level, so we'd have to look back at the dates of that report to see why. It was probably that at the parent level it went negative. Because here, go back to run the stock status by item report again, Yvette.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It's either negative
It's open, but just
today or
run
it isn't.
reports and run it.
Okay. Stock. Where's status? Oh, wait a minute. I got the wrong one. It's by stock, right?
Okay. So now, no, you're there. You're there.
that's right.
So irrigation hose. So this is -1. This is just for this month.
Oh. But if you say all,
that's the reorder point. And that's weird. So the reorder point is set as a -1. The quantity on hand is actually 0. We were looking at the wrong column.
no wonder we're confused.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, so close this, but let's go back to the quick report because I want to talk about this for a minute. Because this is how you can troubleshoot and solve a lot of problems with inventory. Because this report, now what I wish they would add is the ability to show the running balance of the quantity on hand. That would be a great column to be able to add. It just
Well,
doesn't
customize and see if they added it.
Click Customize Report.
Okay. Oops, no, that's comment.
Then-
Okay, so customize. All right.
And then scroll down on the display options. Let's see if there's an option to show the balance. And really, we want the balance not in dollars, but the balance of the quantity. Because normally what I do now is I have them export this to Excel and write a simple formula that figures it out. Because then you want to be able to see quickly where it was negative.
There it is.
Yeah, but that's going to do.
Okay, I have a feeling that's going to be the dollar balance, though.
Well, let's see.
So go ahead and check it.
Yeah, click OK.
Isn't there like a count or something?
Yeah, see, that's
That's the money.
that's the money. So that doesn't.
They don't have a count. They don't have a count option in the additional fields.
Count.
Yeah. Count of.
Well, the quantity is the count, but again, the problem is that we can't get a running count on this.
Yeah, that's something you have to code.
So here's what you do. Get the balance back out of there. I'll show you how we do this normally.
Take the balance out.
Or you can leave it in, but just export this to Excel, and then for those who don't know, I'll show you the formula that you write to calculate it yourself.
It's actually the same formula as the money.
Well, remember on my parallels, I have the old version of Excel, so.
Well, it looks like it's going to export.
Yeah, but.
That's fine, so the formula's not going to change.
Yeah, see, the formula on the balance is similar to what you want.
Right, so but just get rid of the balance column and click right next to the 2430.
2430. Okay, so just get rid of this?
Well, delete all of column U, yeah. Just delete that. And then click right next to the 2430 in column U.
Uh-huh.
Just move over to column U, though.
Oh,
the first thing, yeah, because what we're going to do is create the running balance. So set the first one equal to S5.
Hey, Seth, can you take control and do it?
I can't, but it's very easy. I'll just talk you through it. So just type the equal sign. Don't right-click or anything. Just type equals, and then use your arrow key and point to the 2430. Just left arrow twice.
Okay.
And hit enter. And then on the second line, it's going to change. So now hit equals.
Okay.
And then up arrow to point to the 2430 that's directly above you. and then note right there, and then plus.
Okay.
And then left arrow to point to the negative 65 that's to the left. So that takes the balance from the previous line and adds to that whatever is in the next line, which since it's negative will cause it to reduce. Go left one more so you're on the 65.
Yeah, it needs to be S. There. Hit enter.
And now hit enter and then copy that down from there.
Okay.
So it gave you a lot of decimals. We can fix that afterwards.
No. You have to copy it first.
There.
Copy.
So click on the 2365.
Okay.
No.
No. Just select the 2365. Press Control C.
Okay.
Highlight down to the for the rest of the lines, and Control V is in Victor.
So drag it down.
No, just highlight down the way you had before. That's fine.
There you go. There you go.
And then
Got it.
to D.
No. Highlight. Just click on your mouse on U7 and drag it down.
Yeah, just like you were starting to do before.
There you go. There you go. Stop.
There you go. And then Control V is in Victor.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So now just highlight the whole U column and give it the comma formatting so that it's a little better to read. So in your formatting options up at the top, you see where you have the dollars and then percent and then comma. My personal preference is the comma, but you can hit the dollar sign too.
Okay.
Well, the dollar sign doesn't fit here because these aren't dollars; these are quantities.
See the little icon? Keep going. To the right. To the right. To the right. To the right.
Right here.
No. See the dollar
All the way
sign
over
over
to
on
the
the
right.
right?
Gosh. Okay.
Click cancel. Press Control Z to undo.
Control Z.
All right.
Hit
Did.
it again.
Okay. And then,
Okay, now click the comma. If you look in the top ribbon all the way to the right of your screen where you have all the formatting options, you'll see a comma. All
right
the way over
here.
to the right.
Okay.
Not dollars, though. Do the comma because remember, these are quantities, not dollars. So 2 more to the right from the dollar sign, you see the comma.
There.
Bingo.
Yay!
And notice now it comes down to the same 1783 that the default report calculated, but this way you can see line by line. So in a case where it did go negative, you could see exactly where it went negative, so you know that you need a bill to record the purchase of inventory prior to that point in the timeline, and you figure that out looking at the date column, of course. This is how you troubleshoot negative quantities in inventory.
Because you would know at the end of November the quantity was 2283. Yeah, exactly. That's nice. Too bad they don't have that as an option.
It would be great if you could get the running balance on the quantities in these reports, but there's no way to do it. I've tried. Every year they come out with the new one. That's one of the first things because... What?
I thought they had some enhanced reporting in Enterprise. Can we take a look at the report, see if there's anything in there?
All right, back to QuickBooks. Poor Yvette. She's like...
The presenter today.
Why did I volunteer for this?
Okay. Okay, so now what are we doing?
Just click on reports and see if there's any new functionality. Look, this custom report.
Learn about advanced reporting. What's advanced reporting?
Yeah, it's good. What is advanced reporting? Well, I should go back up to learn about advanced reporting. Click on that. There you go.
Probably an article.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Seems nice. So it's just advertising.
I don't know what it is.
Products and services.
Is it a feature you can buy?
Contractor, let's see. I want
Profit?
and
What's right in there?
stand.
Can you expand that by pulling?
Trying to. It's not. Okay. For some reason, it just.
See, there's a chat. It's something they want to sell you, isn't it?
Probably.
There wouldn't be a chat.
Well, they used to have, where they gave you access to views of the database in Enterprise. I'm not sure where that lands now. But you had to know, if you wanted to do something like crystal reports, you could, link on the views. They created specific views that you could do more advanced. It's kind of like QCube kind of thing.
Okay, sources support. So, I don't know.
Well, if they want to sell it, they should let you maximize the stupid screen.
Yeah, I don't know. It won't let me on here.
See,
You can't grab the highlight stream and drag it?
Superman.
No, it just,
Yeah,
I can drag it, but it
doesn't.
watching.
won't even let me drag the corner.
You can't grab the corner and
Yeah.
extend it. Huh. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Huh.
I wonder if it's just like.
All right, we're out. Enough. Close it.
Maybe in release 2 they'll fix it.
I think you should do the chat while we're hanging out online.
Yeah, exactly. Say,
Well,
Yeah,
we
look at this.
see a thing happening.
Company snapshot's the same, I think. I looked into that yesterday.
Did you look at the insight?
Yeah.
What about custom reports?
What was that?
What about custom reports on the report menu?
Custom reports.
I wonder if that's the report writer.
Did we look at the income
Let's
statement or the income bar?
going down. It's like under combined reports or contributed reports, I guess. Okay.
Summary.
No, go up one.
To contributor reports.
Are those reports that other people have written and sharing or something?
I think so.
Cash flow.
Yeah, contributor reports are people contributing their report templates.
They are great. I have had occasions to use them and have found some wonderful reports that other people have taken a lot of time to get exactly what they need.
See what terms.
Anything under payables?
Let's see.
That looks good. Under payables.
Let's see.
Oh, I guess I'll have to load it and go down the rabbit hole.
Is anybody going to that VCon next week with Joe Woodard?
They
Or
called
the-
it this morning.
Or the week of the 22nd, I guess it is, or 3rd?
I'm going to do it.
I am.
I'm too far away.
Go back to your insights.
Okay.
And then the tab up there.
I'm in there.
All right.
Insights.
I think if you click on that gear wheel, you have to click on that gear wheel, yeah.
On the gear wheel. Okay.
That gives
Yeah,
you-
gear like QuickBooks Online has gears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Trend. I was actually looking for the income bar that they have. They have an income bar.
Yeah, that's in the,
Yeah, I saw that. They got it. I was looking at it last night. Let's see.
it's on the My Shortcuts income tracker.
That would be a great name for an actual bar. The income bar.
Come on in.
Where everybody knows your name.
But this is on Enterprise in 2014. I have that one.
Haven't they done more, made it better?
Yeah, they added, I think, the hours you run billed hours, I think.
And last sent date, I think.
That time and expenses, I think, is new.
Yeah. Manage transactions. Invoices. Yeah, let's see. Invoices. Okay. What's this here? Sales order, time and expense. Can't remember. I don't think this was on there before.
No, the time and expense is new, I think.
Yeah, that was in the list. But they don't always list everything. Sometimes you just have to poke around and bump into it, like the shading problem. That wasn't added, it was a new feature.
Added benefit, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I hope they get rid of that.
Well, you know, the beta testing seems like it's been shortened by at least a month over the last couple of years, you know.
I know.
It used to come out, it would come out like in November or October. Now it's coming out in early September.
That was a beta years ago. Well, who did we know that was a beta?
Nancy's a beta. I'm a beta.
I was a beta a couple of years ago.
When you were a beta, did you notice? Gina?
Well, you know what? Last year they really kind of disappointed me when they did all that coloring thing and rechanged everything.
We can't
And
see.
all of the beta testers hated it. Hated it, hated it, hated it. They did not care what we said. They went ahead and did whatever they wanted to do. So it kind of made me lose my desire to want to beta test. They want me to
I don't have time anymore.
go through all of the, you know, whatever to test and then just don't listen to what we say.
That's actually fairly time consuming now, the beta, at least when I was doing
It
it.
is. It's become a lot more time consuming. And I do what I can, but a lot of it depends on what else I have going on too.
Yeah, I was a beta years ago. Used to get all kinds of swag and special
You
perks.
basically get the copy you were beta testing is basically what you get now. They give you license.
They're using us as beta. They're using us as beta until, when's it being released? The 21st? 22nd?
Well, that was just the beta.
Yep.
Exactly. That's what I mean. The ProAdvisors, we're going through beta, and then, you know, it's going to be released to the public on, I believe, the 22nd. So they have 2 weeks to see if there's anything major blowing up.
There's a chance of that.
Oh, yeah.
Feedback.
I wonder what's going on. I can't.
Is it locked up?
I can't
Did it
get
lock
out.
Uh-oh.
Where's your mouse? Your mouse is gone. Where's your mouse?
Yeah, but I can't click on here.
I hate that when it happens.
It locked up. Oh, you're running parallels on. You're running PC parallel on a Mac. That's interesting.
But something happened. Yeah, something finally happened. I know what's going on. Word.
It froze.
That's what my Windows 7 or Windows 8 machine does all the time. Doing something in the background, not sure what it's doing, but it's not doing what I want it to do.
Well, somebody Monday coming in to clean up my computer because I got all these.
Like Dell, you can buy, like in some of the portals, you can buy with Windows 7 installed and get the license for Windows 8.1 if you want.
That's what I do.
Yes.
Yeah, if you go to the store to buy it, you're going to be stuck with 8, but if you buy it from a distributor, you can pick your operating system usually.
Well, isn't 9 coming out very soon?
Yeah, we have
I don't know what happened.
Seth, you had Randy Johnson on, right? He was talking about Windows 9.
Yeah, but it wasn't clear to me what's different or new. In the interview, I had asked him about what's new in Windows 9, and he just kind of went into some tips on Windows 8, or I missed something. But it didn't seem like he actually said much about what's going to be new. And I mean, it seems like it's going to be substantially similar. But I don't know. The main thing I got out of what he shared with us there was that if you on Windows 8, if you right-click your Windows symbol, your Start button, you get a really cool pop-up menu with some of the stuff that you frequently need that's otherwise kind of hard to find. So you can get like your Task Manager very quickly that way. And in fact, I removed my File Explorer as one of the things that's pinned to the taskbar because I can get to it this way very quickly.
Well, Windows 9 hopefully is Windows 8, but now it works.
Am I
Yeah,
still sharing my screen?
Nope.
like Windows Vista and Windows 7.
Yvette, we're just seeing your picture now.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. It just froze my parallels.
Uh-oh.
But it did knock you out, so that's good.
No, I guess not.
Beta testing in more ways than you want.
I really hope they update 14 and give us our tools. That would make accountants really happy. Because if I remote in and work on a client's machine, I don't have my tools, and it drives me nuts.
Well, you just remote in and do, you're saying for 14, the same thing that they're doing
No,
for...
like if I remote into a client's computer and I'm doing year end and I want to reclass a whole bunch of transactions, I can't do it.
But you can in 15 and going forward.
15
You just,
and going forward, but I'm not going to get every client.
If you sign as an external accountant,
feature.
if you sign as external accountant 14, you can't do it?
no, you have to sign on to 15. They need 15 for you to be able to do
Right.
that.
Well, they're not. I'm not going to have all my clients spend all that money for something that'll, help me.
I thought there was a way they could access the CDR if you did the external accountant. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
Nope.
Not on 14, 15 and going forward. That's what they were saying.
Huh, okay.
See, well, they've got to come up with some incentive to get us to move up, but
Yeah, like I say,
everybody just moved up, so.
I haven't seen anything really on 15, at least on the Pro and Premier, that would make me want to upgrade, unless I had payroll that I had to do it for,
Right.
And Sarah, you just went through and upgraded all your clients anyway off of X.
Everyone that was on 11. I mean, it's a big deal. If you're, we've got IT people, we've got networks to deal with, we disrupt their office. I mean, some are real simple, but others are, this year we had the whole XP problem, so we were replacing workstations at the same time, and so I just had this big.
For little onesie-twosie one-man shops, it's not a big deal, but when you have a shop that you have people that come in every day, more than one person, and sit down at a computer, just pounding out the invoices, pounding out the payables, you can't just stop progress. They're a day behind,
So I do a lot of nights, a lot of weekends.
Right.
It's really my convenience. I mean, it may be simple, but they want me to do it, so then it's when it's going to fit into my schedule where I don't. So
yeah.
I put it off unless there's a feature that the client, it's what's best for the client. But I tell them all the new features and I let them decide, is it worth moving up? And most of the time it's no. So. But then there's new clients that go to the store and that's all they can buy, so you end up with a smattering of the last 3 years.
Right, and then there are people that just want the latest and greatest period all the time.
Right. But like I said, I let everybody else work through the bugs or not just the bugs, but just the learning curve on the new version before I dive in. So then I know, I've been listening to all the chatter for a couple months and
the sample that Woody gave on the QuickBooks show was really good. He showed all the updates, everything. It's a pretty good video. You should watch it.
Yeah.
I say everybody should go back and look at that one. That was last week, Tuesday, on their QB show. You should be able to go to
Is that a YouTube channel?
The QB show is a YouTube channel. Let me see if I can find.
Sarah, are you on Google Plus?
Yeah, because so I'm on the Hangout.
Yeah, because that's right. Yeah.
You put a link, didn't you?
Yeah. I put one and Gina put one. I think. Did you put one, Gina, as well?
I think I did, but I'm looking for the YouTube video directly, and I'll put a link up here in a minute.
Because if I click on your name and go to your page...
Well, I don't know where I put it is the problem.
I'm checking out Yvette's
I thought I did. Let's.
Wall or whatever they call it.
Okay.
All right, so we're about out of
There it
time
is,
here,
I found
but
it.
everybody's homework for next week is to come back with something new that you learned about QuickBooks 2015.
Here
Yes,
is,
sir.
Okay.
Maybe we get an Intuit spokesman out here, or get Woody or somebody.
We're supposed to have Dave Leary. What happened, Seth?
No, he said he couldn't do it this week. He was going to try and do it for next week. I have to follow up with him.
Something real quick, has nothing to do with QuickBooks. What do you guys, have you guys heard of, I know you have, Seth, because I saw your comments, Apple Pay. About how you could pay with your iPhone.
Oh, yeah, that's scary.
Banks are starting to offer it too, like Wells Fargo. I mean, I bank with Wells Fargo, and they, right when I went onto my,
Is that like Google Wallet?
I don't know, because I've never used Google Wallet, but I guess what it does, it stores your credit cards on your iPhone,
Ooh.
and you can pay instead of grabbing your credit card.
I would almost rather have my naked pictures all over the place than my credit card.
Nobody really sees your credit card number that way.
Yeah, because it's not stored in the cloud, it's stored on your device, so then you just have to protect your device.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Come to a point of sale terminal and you just present your phone to the point of sale. I actually saw somebody do this at the store the other day. So yeah, it takes the information off the phone.
All right, you there?
Yeah.
How do you keep somebody from stealing your...
They're still chatting, so I'm going to let them keep going, and then when I see them dropping off, I'll just kind of end the hangout.
Wow, how rude is that, Seth? Yet you're not ending the show. You're just...
He's not muted. There he goes. We shouldn't have told him.
Well.
Yeah, they're still chatting.
More important to do, apparently. And we're not cooperating with them. We should stay on for another hour just because of
just to keep it open. So I guess the when you go to get on an airplane, you see a lot of people just put their phone and their little barcode for their boarding ticket, and so a lot of people are already used to just using their smartphone for all kinds of things.
Yeah, the thing I like about it is that less people see your credit card number. You know,
Right.
Swiping your card, because even when I go to restaurants, I hate when they take my card.
That's when you're going to get it stolen, or your tip is increased.
right.
Yeah.
Well, the new iPhone has the fingerprint deal.
Right. How many of you use iPhones?
Not yet.
I'm Android. I'm Droid.
I've been on an Android, but
Android.
it might have.
Droid.
iPhone.
I have, maybe it's a false sense of security that the apps on the iPhone have been vetted more than an Android. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, didn't they just have that iCloud breach? Isn't that attached to all the iPhones?
And right after that, they reduced our fee from $25 to $11.99, and they're sending me a 24-cent refund. 24-cent refund. I love that. What's your refund, Yvette?
Yeah, about as much as that, as little as that, should I say. But, yeah, I mean, they're changing a lot. It was funny that they sent that, how they're cutting back on their fees, because I have all my devices are Apple, and I pay a lot for my cloud storage on Apple.
Yeah. Well, I've got husband, me, it's all... And then I have this stupid little Android that drives my husband crazy because we can't share calendars the way we want to.
Yeah, I wonder, people that are on Android and then they go to an iPhone, I mean, how much they like being on the iPhone as opposed to, the other.
Well, I'm on the iPad so much, I assume it'll be really similar, so.
Yeah,
I
actually have an iPad, and I can't stand it.
Really?
Yeah, I have an Android phone, and I bought an iPad, and I used it for a little while, but then when I upgraded and got the bigger Android, I don't even use my iPad anymore.
Really?
Too much of a bother.
Well, I like to do LinkedIn and all that before I go to work, so that's without firing up my laptop, the iPad's a good, or a tablet, any tablet would be a good size
Yeah,
to.
that's what I use my tablet for. Without firing up the whole computer, I can go look and check my different.
Yeah.
If I'm at a
I do
doctor's
that right on my
office,
phone.
if I'm at a doctor's office or something, I can use join.me, I can use log me in, I can pop into a client with these apps. I mean, it's
Yeah, you know what I use too on my laptop, my Mac laptop, and my iPad is Jump Desk. Have you ever heard of Jump?
is that to RDP into your office? Yeah, I have this similar thing.
Yeah, screen sharing kind of things. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna jump off.
Yeah, I have to go make money now.
Right. I'm gonna go work out.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Everybody have a wonderful weekend, and Gina, I'll see you on your show.
See you tonight. Bye.
Bye.